Alright, Ramblers, let's get rambling. I'm Bad Jack JW, and you're tuned in to the Combat 86 radio show. This video is really just rambling, odds and ends kind of stuff. Not in any particular order, not any one topic. Usually, so anyway, alright, let's get to it. Talk about some stuff. What's been going on with the channel? What are we doing? That is the main channel, that is the Bad Jack JW channel. So, before we get into a lot of that, I'd like to take this moment and say the amount of, I guess, how would you put it? Just how amazing the community is in the gun community on YouTube. So many of you are such good people, and it is such a amazing display, and just it's proof right there that there are great people that are still out there. There are great people that still love this country, love their guns, and you guys are some of the most nicest people I've ever met in my life. That is, in a sense, meeting each other through these videos, not actually being flesh to flesh. And that's the interesting thing about it, is there's so many of you that I've met through YouTube that even though we've never met face to face, we feel connected, and we feel very much like, hey, there would be no problem. I'd buy you a drink. I would, sit down with you for lunch. Shoot the bull, whatever you want to say. Okay, so on that note, the gifts that have been rolling in, absolutely touching and yet amazing. If you would have told me over 2 years ago when I started YouTube, doing my Bad Jack JW thing and doing these little gun reviews and things, if you would have told me that all of what has happened now up to this point, I would have just I wouldn't have believed you. I really wouldn't have. I couldn't grasp my head around the YouTube bit right away. I really could not. But I'm glad I stuck with it. It's not it's something that I'm glad I stuck it out, and I continued going, and I continued to make the videos that I continued to do. So it really is. It's amazing. I apologize if this video has the really not the greatest lighting. I guess we're kind of going with the old Clint Eastwood Sudden Impact look, where everything is kind of shadowed. So, but just one of the very first things I ever received from somebody was from a guy named Bags 6 Gun. Darren Bags, and I think his name has changed a couple times, this username, but one of the first things I ever received was from him, and it was this John Wayne poster. And if you guys see the vlogs, it's that giant Hondo poster that stands in the background of my new wherever, if I do an outro or something. I got rid of the old the old Sylvester Stallone Expendables poster, because for me, old Stallone was, when I found out he was anti-gun, it really killed it for me. And that's just what happens for me. I get, if I watch all these movies, it's really crushing for me, because my childhood, I've watched Rambo and Tango and Cash, and a lot of the Stallone films, and just to find out like he's anti, it's like, ugh, it really kills it. So I tore that poster down. So hung up John Wayne's poster, because I know the Duke was pro-gun. The Duke believed in what he did. So anyway, so that was like one of the very first things I ever got. And then I started getting other stuff. Started getting movies sent to me, which is really cool. I got to finally see some movies, The Final Countdown. Never saw it. Great movie, like it. It's right there in my collection. So meeting up with some people that I never, just got to be really know them better, and people sending me, hats, socks, John Wayne $2 bills. So, and then it was because of somebody. Somebody sent me Bruce the Shark, and Bruce the Shark has now become some kind of, I guess you could say, somewhat of an Easter egg in a sense in some of my vlogs. You always look at, where's Bruce? Where is he? I decided, make it fun, make it different for the vlog, something interactive, I guess you could do. So, John Wayne shot glasses. So I have my little Gator bottle opener from Daytona Beach. It's on the safe, and I actually like that thing. I don't know, it's something cool. Weird thing is, I remember when I was as a kid watching some Disney cartoons. I remember the gator, the alligator or something, or the crocodile, whatever. He's always a comical, cartoonish crocodile or gator, and I've always liked that. And so that Gator bottle opener that was sent to me really reminds me of something like that. So it's really cool. It touches kind of like a different spot, I guess you could say, as far as remembering those cartoons and always liking that little alligator thing, crocodile. So I think it's a crocodile. So with the short nose, right? I think that's right. Okay. Getting sent Ballistol. Really awesome. I think this is really cool because this is a product that I've seen so much on YouTube. Of course, everybody using it, and for me, my very first real starting to watch gun videos on YouTube was the none other than Hickok 45, and always saw him using it. So I always thought, I never. It always intrigued me because I just kept hearing and seeing so much about it. And unfortunate part about living out here in the island, these companies, they won't send you stuff like this. They just it's an automatic. Alaska and Hawaii excluded. We can't get to Alaska and Hawaii. It's like, oh well, that's so I've become sort of numb to it. It doesn't surprise me anymore. It's just like, oh, I mean, I'm surprised when somebody will send me a shoe polish over the internet. It's like, wow, somebody sent me shoe polish. That's flammable. It's right down to a MidwayUSA.com won't even send me the sizing die. Let me see if I have one right here. Yeah, these are sizing dies for cast lead bullets. So if for those of you that cast your own bullets, very much what this is. Midway USA would not send this to me because it came with a bottle of what they call the liquid Alox, which is basically wax. And what that is you heat up the bottle and you coat a little bit. You put a little dollop in your bunch of bullets that you casted up, and you shake them around, and it coats them. And so it's kind of like bullet lube. They wouldn't send it to me because of that. And I wound up contacting Lee Precision, another great reason why I like them, and told them about the situation, and the gal over there said, well, that's just ridiculous, and she sent me the dye with the liquid Alox, no problem. In fact, I believe I ordered 2 extra bottles of that stuff thrown in the same package, so that was 3 bottles they sent me. Midway needs to work on that because there's obviously no problem with that. So anyway, yeah. So getting to finally try Ballistol, and so far, right up to this point, I'm loving it. I absolutely love the stuff. And the nice thing about it is, this happened with me with Frog Lube. And when Frog Lube hit the market, I thought it was the greatest thing since sliced bread. I really did, because for me, doing what I do for a job and working and everything, always my hands are always coming in contact with CLP and petroleum-based oils and solvents, and eventually it does start to eat at your fingers and eat at your skin. It's not good for you. This kind of goes back also. I also take it in the notion that what my dad had to come up with one day. He remembered, he said, he told me this, and he always thought that it was a bad idea, He's a journeyman painter, and he used to see, was a journeyman painter. He used to see a lot of these painters, these old school guys, washing their hands in like lacquer thinner and paint thinner. And he just looked at that, and he just thought the idea of that just seemed so. He said, "Man, that can't be good for you." Sure enough, he knew a guy that passed away from the toxics. He wound up developing some kind of cancer or something. So, anyway, with that being told to me, and that, you know, he always said, you know, the idea of that was just always like, ugh, you know. So, that I always kept that in the back of my mind about doing stuff at work, handling these different solvents, Croil and CLP, and even though I'd wash my hands after, you could still smell it, and you know. So when Frog Loop and CO1 and all that came to the market, I thought, wow, it's biodegradable. You can eat this stuff, I heard. So, but my experience with it, now this is just my experience, I can't speak for some people. Have had great experience with it and have not had a single issue. My experience, the stuff gummed up. It turned into like a tar. It just I remember having a 1911. You pull the trigger and the hammer would go. You could literally watch it fall. It was like, wow, that sucks. So, and then a revolver. I just noticed that the revolver, things were it was like molasses. It was just, I was really disappointed, and had to change it all up. And to get that stuff out, mind you, my friend of mine that had his revolver literally turned into like just everything gummed up, everything stuck. He was like, man, he was telling me horror stories. He had to boil the gun to get that stuff out of there. I did not have an easy time getting it out of there. I had to use parts cleaner from Walmart, that powder blaster stuff they use on brakes, brake cleaner, I guess you call it. So that was not fun. So you're getting introduced to Ballistol. You know, it actually says right there on the bottle, skin safe, no carcinogens, and that's really neat. That's and then the thing about the Ballistol is it's been out for so long that any weird issues would have surfaced already. So that's also nice to have that kind of reassuring thing, and then also to know that despite what some people say about it, you can't help but look back at a Hickok 45 video. And I know it's like holding, you know, don't mean to like hold Hickok 45 at the top of the list and just like, you know, like just embellish his, you know, it's like adorn him with just, oh, you know, this is the godsend of everything. His videos are great. He's really well known. But just the fact that when you see somebody in general, I mean, aside from, you know, his YouTube channel, this is an older guy that has been doing this for how many years, long before YouTube, and just soaking his stuff down with it and just kind of going back through and doing a little patchwork and wiping it down, and that's it. So nothing too crazy and elaborate. So, all right. Yeah, so I'm really happy. And on the big news, I've already mentioned in the vlog, I went down and talked to a local gun shop, friend of mine, and really good guy, really good shop, really well stocked. We got a video on his shop and did a bunch of stuff there. I talked to him about Ballistol, and he's going to bring it in. That's really awesome. Got finally a place that will bring the stuff in and do it. A shop like him, he's able to pay the hazmat fee on things and make it worthwhile. You know, I'm sure he'll buy like a case of this stuff or something. So I think what he's looking at is the aerosol version. I do like this one with the sprayer. It leaks a little bit, but it's not too bad. I like it. I do like having that little bit of control over just putting a little bit on there, and then it works great for just spray the gun, leave it. It's definitely a product. I'd like to have a smaller bottle for sure to take it to throw in the range bag. So when we're at the range, we're doing some stuff before we go home. Shoot the barrel, you know, just spray it on there, and then let the stuff do its thing. I know that it's been told to me by Bob that sent that to me. Really appreciate that, by the way. And he said to leave it on there sometimes for like half an hour or so. So that's I figure, well, it's a good thing that get to the range, do the thing, and spray it down. By the time we get home and get to the place where we clean it up, and I gotta admit I'm pretty bad at cleaning some stuff up, so I'm getting to it right away. But I like to make sure the gun is protected and safe, and so I don't pull it out later and it's like, oh, all this rust. So, all right, moving on to some of the things that we have gotten from companies, a little help out, a little break on prices. One of the major ones is definitely Badman bullets. I've got it's all kind of piled up here, a little hidden away and everything, but I got his I requested to have these, and I mean I gotta admit they kind of got bent up a little bit, but there is little bumper stickers. But that's why he also sent along the hats, which, do I have one? Yeah, here's one. Oh no, that's not it. There's one. Ah. Okay. So I got some of the hats here with his logo so I can wear them. Mainly because he sponsors the channel. He sends along the lead, and I got, again, here's my reloading, my the messiest desk on YouTube. But yeah, I got some, here's some 45 caliber, 230 grain round nose stuff with the polymer coating. Some down here, this is the 44 caliber 200 grain flat points. Haven't even loaded any of that stuff up yet. So looking to get to doing that. Right now the machine, here's the Dillon 650 that I use. Right now it's tooled up for 45 ACP. 45 with the polymer bullet, his signature red color. That's his Badman. I kind of like it. It looks really interesting. Probably can't see it in this lighting, sorry. So anyway. So yeah, he's been a really great help to everything we're doing, because out here obviously somebody can't send us certain things, but he's able to send us the lead, no problem, obviously. It's just lead. And I've been using his product long before YouTube. I discovered him through a friend of mine. Well, no longer a friend, unfortunately. Things just went south with that relationship, just because of, just, I don't know. I've told the story, I think, once or twice. Anyway, found out about it through him. And so basically for me, the big catcher was the stuff ships for free, 1,000 pieces or more, and his prices are like, I'm looking at his prices. I remember just thinking to myself, I spent close to this price for just 500 pieces of like Oregon Trail lead from, Midway or Cabela's or something, and then by the time you add shipping to that, you're looking, near 85 or 90 bucks. And I'm looking at these prices and I'm like, well, here's this thing for like, like $98, $100, and $113, and that's 1,000 pieces, and it ships for free. And so anyway, yeah, I just couldn't, it's hard to beat that. And he's a really cool guy, so I really appreciate that. And the other thing that we had received is Lone Wolf Distributors. I was looking into their conversion barrel for the Glock 23, that's the 40 caliber to shoot 9mm. I'm starting to not become, now the whole reason I bought the 40 was to the fact that you can change it to a 9. The fact that you can shoot 2 calibers, that's really what sold me on it. So, and then finally coming around to getting the barrel. Now the reason why I got the Alpha Wolf barrel and got to talking to them about it was because, for those of you that know the video, see my other friend that we do some shooting on the Coffee Land. Now he has the stainless steel Alpha Wolf barrel, and he has to literally shoot like low on the target. So like if if here's the target, he's aiming here just to hit the thing. I don't know why it's popping those bullets up like this. And it wasn't the only time I was heard about that. And then after the experience with that, and then another friend of ours, he's a law enforcement officer, said he had the same issues, and that's the reason he got rid of it. Now, first barrel I ever tried out with this stuff was lent to me by a friend of mine, and his was threaded. His was finished with some sort of parkerizing, a black finish on it. So it not this barrel with the nitrate finish on it, but it was a different one, and it shot great. I thought, this is, you know, I have a video on that. Did a video. It's really one of those POV close-up, and I changed everything out right there in front of the camera, showing that all I did was change really the barrel. Did not change the ejector, the extractor, or the magazine, like I've heard all these people say. So I really wanted to just kind of say, well, let's just try to do it with just changing the barrel and seeing what happens. And of course, the gun worked great, and nothing happened. So, no, Alpha Wolf, I talked to them. I told them basically what I saw and what I experienced and what I heard. And the guy over there, I think his name was Luke, talked to me about this barrel, the Alpha Wolf barrel, and it's got fluting. I don't want to touch it. It's got Ballistol all over it. It's got fluting all through it, and it's got the nitrate finish on it. So I said, and it was a little bit more, but it's worth it. It's about, I think it's like $143. They gave me a nice break on the price for promoting it on YouTube, and after shooting it and checking it out, I had no problem with promoting it because it works great. And the last thing on YouTube I want to do is promote something that doesn't work, that's terrible, and yet just because somebody you know, opted for free to me to promote it or something like that, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to sit there and promote junk just because somebody wants me to promote it and just give me the free product or something, you know, or a discount on the product. No, don't want to do that. I want to be careful of doing stuff like that. So anyway, the barrel works great. That's why I did the shot. It's like 60 yards out. I think we did the shot on that steel plate, the little Popper Man. I bought that from the sporting goods store that we no longer have. So, yeah, the Dillon 650 is what I use. I remember getting in when I started to really get heavy into shooting. I was learning a lot from an older guy. I've known him for years, you know, and that's the one thing about older people. Listen to them, because they've been around that block. They've done it. They've experienced it, and they're trying to tell you what they found out in the end. And you know, they're trying to, you know, they've already wasted their time and money on it. So now that they found, so that's what was told to me, was to get, if you're going to get the Progressive Press, get the Dillon 650. It's an expensive machine, but it's worth it. It's worth saving up for, and that's exactly what I did. I saved up for it and I bought it. This is really top notch, top stuff, really good. Punches out rounds like no tomorrow. I tell you, it's so easy. It has, what I like about it is that it's got all these sensors. So that's the powder sensor. It's going to tell you if you're under or over. It's got a primer sensor. You can even buy a sensor that's going to sense when you're low on powder here. But I didn't see a point in that because of that. Now the only other thing I might invest in the future is the case hopper, to put the thing that loads the casings for you, because that is one thing that gets old, is restacking casings all the time. So I may invest in that in the future. That's down the line when I possibly have a little bit more money. So, all right. And over here, I did clean it up with Ballistol. I wanted to talk about it, just bring it out again. This is the 629 Talo Edition 3-inch barrel. It's otherwise a snubby 44 Magnum. I wanted one of these for so long and tracked them down and just kept trying to find them. I wound up buying this one on auction, really cheap. my favorite 44. One of my favorite 44s to take to the range. One of the most sexiest 44s I got. I know my Model 29 is probably in there overhearing me and getting all mad at me, but this, without a doubt, is a superb gun. Absolutely, I like it. But I do love my Dirty Harry. Now, if I had to choose, I'd probably still take my Model 29 Dirty Harry gun. I'm sorry, 629. But no, as far as the snubby and everything, it is just I love it. And where did I first get wind of this? I did a video on this, and I told this many times, I believe. Was a Tales from the Crypt episode. I'm talking about the Tales from the Crypt, the series that came out in the 90s. I watched that a lot with my parents. My mom watched it. So yeah, something to show to your kids. But I turned out all right. Movies don't make people go crazy or do things. Okay, people are just like that. I mean, evil is just, you don't breed evil. In a sense, evil is just there. That's just my opinion on it. So anyway, it was a Tales from the Crypt episode. It's called Cutting Cards. It's got Lance Hendrickson and Kevin Thigh or Teague or something. I forgot. I don't even know how you say his name, but I just know him as the Roadhouse guy because he's the guy that tells Patrick Swayze, "And I thought you'd be bigger." So, anyway, they're these two card sharp guys, and they playing each other, and they're trying to one up each other all the time, and they're like, I want you to get out of town, and he's like, the loser has to pack their wagons and go. So he rolls the dice, and they both roll boxcars, and he's like, and Lance Hendrickson gets mad. He goes, I got a way of settling this. He's like, you and me. He goes, Russian roulette. And he's like, you mean you, me, and the gun? And he's like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So they go outside. He goes, you're crazy. He goes, but I got a 44 out in the glove compartment of my car. Goes out to his car, breaks it out, and what he basically has, the scene comes up like this, and you're just looking at it like this, and I'm just thinking to myself, who and what in the world is this gun? Like, I can't believe it. And I just have this thing for like these big bulldog, short snub-nosed revolvers. I just said, I gotta have one of these things. Didn't think it actually existed, but I had to learn what that was. I had to learn, okay, what gun is that? And it's a okay, so I learned it's a 629 Smith & Wesson. So I'm looking for them, and they're not cheap, but I must say I got blessed, and I snaked away with mine pretty cheap, brand new. So anyway, and that's how I got with it. That's one of those guns I won't sell. It'll stay in the safe, no doubt. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. A little rambling, kind of long. If you made it this far, that's awesome. So anyhow, yeah, I'll get it going and keep up with the channel here. I'm trying to get what I'm working on is trying to get some targets made up and get them I gotta look for a target I like, or maybe I'll make my own. I'm not sure. I probably will make my own. Put my little stamp on there, and go down and have some color copies made of them or whatever, and so that way I can use them in videos, and that way give them away here at the radio channel here, or the vlog channel. It gets confusing for me too, and I'm sure it's confusing for you, for doing JW's radio on Saturday morning on the main channel, Bad Jack JW. I'll give them away there too, and what I want to do is just give them away from the video, and of course after we use them in the video, and write down on that target what video it's from, and when the video is posted, then shortly after that video is posted that week, do the giveaway on that target. And that will be easy for me, because all I have to do is put it in an envelope, put some stamps on it, put it outside. Whenever I have to ship out like a box, I will admit right now, the post office is no fun out here. You have to wait in a big long line. It really is kind of out of the way. So I appreciate your patience with those of you that want any kind of giveaways on me shipping this stuff out. So anyway, again, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. This is just kind of rambling, I guess. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Thanks everybody for all you do.